Habari gani, Mainduga na dada. This is your brother, your elder, Abu Amin Ra, coming at you today to provide a simple explanation to why we do not have Black unity, African unity. So, my brothers and sisters, here it is. We must understand that we have been stripped completely of our mindset, our perception of the world, which is termed spirituality. We've been stripped and we have been inculcated with Christianity, its dogmas, its fakery, and everything it has that denies us our humanity. So let me explain to you, my brothers and sisters, why we do not get together in unity, which is a very basic element in our deriving at a place where we can call Black liberation, global African liberation. My brothers and sisters, we have to understand that our minds have been emptied of our perspective on the world, and the Europeans has placed in our minds, and repeatedly doing it daily since our arrival here in the USA. Now listen, they have implanted or inculcated in our minds their perspective on the world, which is derived from Mother Nature's first law, self-preservation. And the way they see self-preservation is the strong must rule the weak. Then, on the other hand, they believe in individualism. With their individualism, mean looking out for self at the expense of everyone else. They believe in capitalism, the exploitation of the rest of humanity through a process known as capitalism, which gives them the motivation to exploit others, to kill and maim others. And we must understand where this derives from. It derives from their nature, which is exemplified in the Vikings, and that travels all over the world, conquering in their ships. They had a belief that if you died as a hero in battle, defending the purpose, and the more bloody it was, your reward was a visitation in your death to a place called Valhalla. So my brothers and sisters, this is the mindset they imposed upon us, this mindset that views themselves as the subject and everything as the objects. They objectify everything else. So this is their perspective on the world. This is the way they perceive the world, and they have embedded this on our minds that have been wiped clean of our original beliefs. Now let us look for a moment at what we believe in. We perceive the universe as a unified spiritual force. The physical is a form deriving from the spiritual unified vibrations on the planet and in the universe. This unified creative spirit flows through all of us and all life. It connects each of us to one another and all, and it flows back and indwells our ancestors and makes us one with them. And it thus, through our future descendants by way of us. In other words, there's a complete unity in our view of the world. There's one spirit that unites each person to the other person, and then back through our most ancient ancestors, and then through our future descendants. It's the oneness of the world. That's our belief, or was our belief in spirituality and its practices. So my brothers and sisters, you must understand, as long as we have this perception that has been inculcated on our minds by the evil, greedy, vicious, avaricious, murderous, thieving Europeans. And thus it brings about disunity amongst us, because we are seeing the world through the Europeans' eyes. So our brothers and sisters, if we are to be unified, we must return back to our ancient spirituality, the oneness of the universe, the spiritual oneness, the eternal spiritual oneness that the European has meticulously disrupted, scraped from our minds, and our minds have been embedded with the propaganda of his perspective, his perception of the universe. The universe only contains the European and the objects, the animals, and everything else in the world. All races, all nations, all tribes, all people, all nationalities. So you see, my brothers and sisters, as we are to become unified, we must pick up the practice of our spirituality once again. And when he scraped it off our minds, he didn't scrape it all off. He left remnants of it there. But then he put his own stuff there. But we retain some of it, and some of it is evidenced in some of our religious practices, which the Europeans call voodoo. Southern blacks in America call hoodoo. In other words, the spiritual controls the physical. So my brothers and sisters, we must come back through this perception of the world and make it our daily practice and become united as one, because there is only one spirit in the world, the eternal spirit, the creative spirit that brings all life form into existence and thus makes one unity out of them all. But through the Europeans' perspective and perception of the world consists of him and his objectifications. So if you don't want to be an object, which you are not, then you must practice the African spirituality, which entails the unification and unity, basic unity of the entire world, animals, insects, and all of the people of the world. And we view them as oneness. So we must do this again. And we didn't lose it all, as I said. And one illustration I gave was voodoo. But that thing that make us dance a certain way, make us walk a certain way, make us talk a certain way, that's the remnants of spirituality left. We called it soul. We said black people have soul. We dance in rhythm, we sing in rhythm, we walk in rhythm, we talk in rhythm. And the Europeans have seen it necessary to hijack parts of the culture that flows from our perception of the world we call soul, and and he uses it for himself, those parts he took, thus further confusing us. But what we must do is make the decision and make the choice to stop this game by saying no to it and begin to study African spirituality and to put it into practice. It's a practice that recognizes the basic unity of all life. See, all humans is one. Also oneness with the other life forms on the planet. That's what unity is all about. We have to grasp these concepts and put them into our everyday practices again if we are ever going to be unified and act as one, which we are, and then seize our liberation. Do you understand what I'm saying, my brothers and my sisters? If you do, I say once again, y'all, peace and hotep to you.